Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be building a new welding cart. I've been wanting to upgrade for a while now. Here's a quick overview of my old welding cart. I built it 5 years ago. It started out as a Harbor Freight welding cart and just a cheap Walmart tool cart. It has two welders, just a standard MIG welder and then a multi-process welder. It is a TIG, plasma, and stick welder. Unfortunately, it's not a AC/DC welder, and that is one of the reasons why I want to build a new cart, so I can fit one more welder on the cart. It does have room for 2 tanks. I am going to be switching to these rod holders. I was using these as rod holders for a while now. I've just really outgrown this cart. For the base of my new cart, I bought a cheap Lowe's Craftsman cart. I believe it was on sale for like $120 over this past holiday. This toolbox is 26.5 by 18 deep. And I'm actually going to make the welding cart 24 inches wide instead of 18 inches wide. That way I'll be able to have room for 3 welders on it. I mean, I could fit 3 welders like this, but I want them going this way. Another thing I want to add to my welding cart is going to be a fixture table. The fixture table is actually going to be the same height as this. I'll have plenty of room to fit the 3 welders under it. I'm just going to be using leftover scrap steel from other builds I've done. I have a bunch of angle iron left over from when I was making the box mounts for the truck. And I believe I have everything that I need to build a welding cart out of. I also have a piece of 24 by 24 1/4 inch plate that I'll be using for the top fixture table. I'm going to be starting with the base of the cart. I have everything squared up on my 24 by 24 plate. Here is the top panel welded up. I added a rear support that'll support the back of the tool chest. Here is the main frame for the welding cart. The box front will sit right here on this side. The drawers will be able to pull out. I'll have access to 3 welders in the front. The height of this table is 45 inches. It's a bit tall for most, but I have back problems and a hip replacement, so bending and leaning over a normal sized desk doing welding and stuff really kills me. So this should be perfect. It will sit, well, it'll be 45 inches after I raise it up off the ground. It'll sit 1 inch, and I'm thinking maybe 1.25 inches off the ground. So I'm going to have to build caster plates that'll come out the front and the back of it. And the back will have to come out anyways for the 2 welding tanks. I've drawn out a template for my tank and rod holders. It'll go on the back of the cart. I'll be able to hold 10 rod holders in my dual tanks. Here are the main parts of the caster mounts. The 2 bottles will be mounted here and here, and then along here through here will be the room for the TIG wire holders. I have my caster plates welded in place for the front. I have the rear caster mounts welded in. Here are the caster mounts locked in place. I went ahead and moved the card 1.5 inches off the ground instead of 1 1/4 inches. That way I'll have a little bit of clearance when I pull it out of the garage, as it has a little bit of a ledge. I have the frame for the welding tank holder and the TIG rod holders welded up. I also extended this so I can put my welder extension cord on it. I'll just hang it off the back. I'm going to be welding in some gussets. This is just a piece of scrap cut off that I have left over from my scrap pile. I have another piece exactly like it. I have the tank and rod holder support tray cut out. I have my bottle mount stops welded in place. I did a test fit with the box sitting in place. Alright, so I've taken a 3.5 inch hinge and cut it down in half. And I took some leftover angle iron. I'm going to be notching it here for the tank to sit. And I'll be dropping a pin in here so it'll latch. And it'll just swing out of the way. And I'll be doing the same thing on the other side. And I just welded a tab in place to give me the height difference. And it just swings open out of the way. I'll just put a pin in there. Quick test fit of one of the tanks. Fits in there perfectly. I added some brackets for my plugs for my welders, and I also added a bracket for my regulator for my plasma cutter. Quick walk around. Quick walk around of the cart so far. I have 2 welder plugs wired up. I have my box set in place. My TIG rod holders set in place and riveted in. Then I added some foam right in here. I extended this with an old inside of a cabinet I had left over from a project. It was already painted black. I just trimmed it down, bent this edge up, and it's a perfect fit. I've added some aluminum angle iron to keep the welder in place. Next, I'm going to be making some brackets for the cable leads. This is one I made on the old cart. It's just made out of 1/8 aluminum by 1 inch. I just take a piece of flat bar, cut it down to length, and bend it in my vise. Now that I have all my lead brackets made, it's time to find a mounting place and drill the holes. For the lead mounts, I just nut-insert them to the cabinet. I mounted my air regulator to the back of the cart. That way I don't have to reach in behind the welder to plug it in anymore. I have both bottles mounted. I just ran the hoses in between there. There's plenty of room, no rubbing. One thing I've been really looking forward to on this welding cart build is a place to store this giant 50-foot extension cord for my welders. A quick overview of the welder so far, or the welding cart so far. Have 2 leads right here, 2 of the welders. I have my MIG drawer, my TIG drawer, my gloves, my aprons, fiberglass cover, jacket, and then just I got my spool gun and just miscellaneous things that I rarely use and replacement parts. I still need to build a plate that goes there, as well as on this side down there, and then on this side I have lead holders for 3 leads. I have my TIG lead, stick lead, and whatever I want to put there. Alright, that is all I have for part 1. In the next video, we'll be going over building the fixture table. We'll be either having it CNC plasma cut, or I'll be using a mag drill to drill all the holes for the fixture table, and then probably build some clamps for it, and then I'll be building the mounts for the, or not the mounts, but the plates for the front and the side. Let me know what you all think.